Alright, everybody, what's up? It's Brad at Ghost Gaming, and we are going to do the 252 stroke setup. Now, if you haven't watched my other setup videos from the 254 stroke and the 454 stroke and the 125 two-stroke setup, I would recommend going back and watching those videos, because it will definitely help you out. However, if this is your first setup video and you're doing it on a 252 stroke, let's get going. We are going to change rider and get on the YC250. Just like all of my other setup videos, this 252 stroke setup will work on every 252 stroke in the game. It is not a manufacturer specific setup like it is in Monster Energy Supercross 3. That's the great news, is they carry across the CC class. So the 450cc 4-stroke setup works the same way on all of the 450s in the game, regardless of manufacturer. The same thing applies to the 250 setup and the 125 setup, etc., etc., so on and so forth. Alright, so we got the rider. Let's go to our track. Let's load this bad boy in and get the 250 going. Alright. Now, the nice thing is, if you guys have watched my other videos for the 450F, 250F, and 125, this is going to be extremely easy for you guys. If this is your first setup on the 252 stroke, it's still going to be fairly easy, but to set your next bikes up are going to be even easier. So we're going to go to bike setup. Let's load up the 252 stroke. This is why I recommend you guys make separate files for a 250F, a 450F, a 125, and a 250. The reason being is the gearing is different in these classes. Your 250 gearing isn't going to work well on the 450. The 450 gearing obviously isn't going to work well on the 250. The 125 gearing doesn't work well with any one of these, or the 250, etc., etc., etc. So you got to create the separate files because the gearing changes in these classes. Other than that, I got good news for you guys. The suspension setup is the same as these others. They are carrying across and working extremely well. Again, this works well for me. It might not work well for you. However, it is a really good starting point for you. So we're going to go into suspension. Again, if you've watched my other videos, you just carry the same suspension setup from the 250, 450, or 125, because all of these bikes have the same suspension setup. Fork, you're going to go again from center to the left, rear to the left, preload to the left. On the fork, rear swing arm, you're going to go to the left. Fork and shock absorber, low compression speed, you're going to go to the right. You're going to make it stiffer. Low extension speed to the right. You're going to stiffen it up. High compression speed to the left. High extension speed to the left. Rear swing arm shock, blah blah blah. A rear swing arm shock absorber. low compression, stiffen it. You're going to go 2 to the right. Low extension, 2 to the right. High compression, 2 to the left. High extension to the right. So that is going to be your suspension setup. Now again, the reason why you have to create these files is because the gear ratios always change from bike to bike to bike. On the 252 stroke gear ratio, I ran so far what I figured out. Now if you guys figure something else that's different and better and faster, by all means put it in the comments and let me know. But so far is what I have figured out is first gear, you're going to run your pinion as a short gear ratio like you do on your 450s. First gear you're going to go to the left twice. Second gear, same, you're going to go to the left twice. Third gear, you're going to go to the left once. Fourth gear, to the left once. And fifth gear, you're going to leave it in the middle. Now the reason why this is like, the gearing is like this is because it's a 2-stroke. You have to keep it in the higher RPMs for the power band. This is what I felt has worked the best as far as keeping it, or trying to keep it in the power band as often as I could. Obviously you can tweak that to your preference. Again, braking response is aggressive. Accelerated map, aggressive, again based upon the setup and how I ride. I feel like I have more control with those two set to aggressive. Wheelbase, again, I've explained this in my other videos. You want to go long. It helps keep the front end on the ground, especially when you're coming out of corners. Not to say that it won't come off the ground, because it will. It just helps keep it on the ground. Also, if the front end does come off the ground with a longer wheelbase, you will have much better control of the bike when the front end is off the ground. Also, it keeps the bike stable at high speeds, so when you're like myself and you're entering those corners in 4th and 5th gear and you're hitting those breaker bumps, the bike is much more stable at high speeds in those breaker bumps. You're not bouncing all over the place. You have much better control of the bike when you're running long. If you're a medium guy, when you go from medium to long in the wheelbase, you really won't notice a difference at all. Other than the big notice that you will find is the front end's not coming off the ground as much. If you are a short wheelbase person and you move to a long wheelbase person, you are going to notice a huge change in the stability of the bike at high speeds, along with grip and cornering, coming out of the corners with its power delivery. It might be something that takes you a minute to get used to, but I mean, either way, definitely recommend it long. So we got that all done. We got our setup on there. Let's go out to the track so you can see how the bike performs. Now again, if you guys have a different setup or a better setup that works better than this, you know, throw it in the comments. I'll definitely try it, and if it is a better setup, I'll go ahead and post it to the channel. You know, if you're a YouTuber, I'll definitely link your channel to it and all of that. You know, I do these videos to help out the community, just because I'm sure you guys know, see what I mean? Like that front end popped right up and I was able to keep control of it. That has a lot to do with the wheelbase and the suspension setup. Anyways, I do these videos to help out the community. As you guys know, trying to figure these setups out can be a big pain in the butt, and they're extremely time consuming. And you know, not everybody has the time to sit in front of a video game for, you know, 3-4 hours and just want to play with the setup to try to make it right. So if I find something that works better, obviously I'll update these videos. But so far this is what I have found that works the best for myself. And again, if it doesn't work for you, that's okay. It's still a good starting point for you though. But I mean, as you can tell, I'm doing a pretty good job of staying in the power band. The bike handles extremely well. We're getting a lot of traction. Just way right into that corner. Oof. Yeah, I'm gonna quick, hopefully it's a heater. I know I'm not as fast as some of you guys, calm down. I don't need any hater mail about how slow you guys think I am. Well, not a fast lap, I've done faster, but this is not bad. Alright, well guys, if you enjoyed the video, please help me out. Hit that like and subscribe button, definitely helps the channel out. Gets it out there. If you know somebody that's playing the game that's struggling with maybe a setup, or you think they could benefit from these setups, please share it out. Again, that also helps the channel out, gets the word out. We are trying to grow the channel and put out some good content out there for you guys that you like. So, those of you that are subscribed, again, I appreciate all the love and support I get from you guys. Until next time, we'll see you all in the next video. Have a good one, everybody.